Good evening, students. So let's begin today's session. Today's session is very important because we are covering about 120 current affairs, which will be very important questions. These current affairs are from June 2025 to September 2025. As you all know that your means examination are approaching, and these questions will play very pivotal role in the exam. So please have a copy or pen with you and note all the important points which I will be discussing in that. So let's begin the session. First question. Whose tenure the MD and CEO of Punjab and Sindh Bank has been extended by central government until February 2027? So the correct answer of this question is Swaroop Kumar Saha. Actually, it is somewhat old news now. And Swaroop Kumar Saha, he is very experienced banker, and he has an experience of 33 years in the banking sector. So Punjab and Sindh Bank got a very good CEO, and now the government wants that the revenue as well as profit growth will be there. So Swaroop Kumar Saha, remember the name, it is very important. Let's move towards the next question. Second question, which country overtook Japan recently to become the world largest creditor nation in 2024 with 3.99 trillion in net external assets? This question is very important. Actually, the correct answer is Germany. See, Germany has substantial current account surplus. This is the reason that they are able to surpass Japan. Japan has also been a very large exporter country, but they are also investing humongously in the assets of other countries. Like, take the example of India. In our country, the Delhi Metro, the bullet train project, these all are financed by Japan. So Japan is very good nation as far as India is concerned. For us, they are very good. And Germany has recently surpassed the Japan. So Germany ranked first, second is Japan, third is China because China is also buying and giving loan to lot of people, and their assets are 3.7 trillion assets. These are huge. Okay, so let's move forward. Which became the first Indian e-commerce firm to secure a NBFC non-bank finance company license from RBI, enabling it to directly offer loan to customers and sellers. So the correct answer of this question is Flipkart. So see, customers will be requiring credit, buy now pay later. This is a scheme you have heard, and these schemes are very much popular. So Flipkart will now directly give loan to their customers, plus they will also give financial, they will also cover the financial needs of their sellers also. So in this way, NBFC which secured the license from RBI is none other than Flipkart. So remember the name. Okay. Fourth question. Which PSU bank in India has acquired stakes in two insurance ventures of Future Generali Group for 508 crore? Please remember this amount. Please also remember the group name, and please remember the PSU bank name. The correct answer of this question is Central Bank of India. Actually, Future Generali Group has two companies in India. We can clearly say there are two subsidiaries of Future Generali Group. Future Generali Group is very large conglomerate which deals generally with insurance sector. So Future Generali Life Insurance Company is there in India, as well as Future Generali General Insurance Company is there in India. So Central Bank has bought approximately 25% stake in both these companies. So in life insurance, the exact stake which they bought is 25.8%, while in general insurance they bought 24.91 stake. So approximately you can remember 25% stake. What will be the benefit for Central Bank of India? Central Bank of India will get the experience in insurance sector. What will be the benefit for future generally group? They will get lot of access point, which are nothing but a branches of Central Bank of India. So in this way, this deal is win-win for both the companies. And remember, this is very important because in banking, the finance question or the news which are taking place or a big events which are taking place in banking, they play a pivotal role in the questions. So remember this. All the important question which I find very important out of these 120, these all 120s are important, but those questions whom I find very important, I will explain somewhat detail on those questions. For all other questions, we will generally do I will discuss the answer and I will give you 1 point. Like that, we will move on because we have to cover 120 questions. Okay. And for you, please note the important part of the question. Okay. Fifth question. What is new CRR ratio, cash reserve ratio, announced by RBI by in its bi-monthly monetary policy that was announced on June 6, 2025. So what is new CRR? The new CRR is 3% actually. That is the correct one. Previously, the CRR is 4%. RBI has reduced it by 100 basis point, means 1%. Okay. Why RBI has done this? To increase the liquidity in the market. And from this move, the liquidity of approx 2.5 lakh crore will get increased in the market. Okay. So that is the figures and that is the numbers. Nowadays, they are asking a lot of questions which are based on numbers and figures. So please remember this figure as well as this figure. Okay. Sixth question. The World Bank has revised upward its threshold poverty line to dash per day in 2021 purchasing power parity terms. So there is a upliftment by World Bank in its threshold poverty line, and the new threshold poverty line is at $3. Previously, it was at $2.15. Now the question arises why they have increased that. They have increased because due to global rise in global inflation. So due to rise in global inflation and due to increase in the threshold poverty limit, there will be substantial rise in number of people who are under poverty line. So that is the thing. Okay. So remember this, the change is $3 per person per day. Okay. So it is important. Now let's move forward. Which PSU bank has paid dividend of 8,000 crore to central government for the financial year 24-25? So the correct answer, this is humongous dividend actually. Okay. So if you are thinking, if you think and you do not know the answer of this question, then the obvious choice will be State Bank of India. Why? Because this is a humongous dividend and you all know that dividend is a part of profit. Okay, so the bank is earning a lot of profit, that's why they are able to give this much of dividend to a central government. So the correct answer is State Bank of India, and you will shocked to know that this year they have posted the profit of 70,901 crore rupees, and out of this they have given the dividend of 8,076 crore to central government, and per share dividend they have announced 15 rupees. Previously, in previous year they have announced 13 rupees dividend. So the condition of public sector bank, particularly the State Bank of India, is getting better day by day. Okay. Now let's move forward. With which international lending institution did AU Small Finance Bank partner to integrate climate risk consideration into its core banking framework? So the correct answer of this question is International Finance Corporation, IFC. It is an arm of World Bank Group. And understand this, why they have done this, because in the bank loan portfolio there are some assets which are facing the climate risk. So there are floods, there are droughts, and there are earthquakes. So suppose a bank has given a home loan to a particular person, and there is a chance that it belong to a particular area which belong to very high seismic range, which belong to very high seismic range. In that area the house lies. So what bank has to think, while giving the loan they have to increase the interest rate or they have to increase the insurance amount. So that's why they are integrating climate risk consideration, because due to climate risk bank are facing a lot of difficulties. So in this way the bank is able to minimize the climate risk which will dampen, which will harm their balance sheet. So that is the very smart move by AU Small Finance Bank. AU Small Finance Bank is very important in one more term, because there is a very recent update, so I will tell you here only. AU Small Finance Bank got license from RBI because they are posting very good result. They are giving very good profit number, sale number, and their bank is running very smoothly and properly as far as RBI report is concerned. So in due to this they got the upgradation. Now they have the license of full banking operation. So sooner or later they will remove the small finance from their name, and then the bank will become the full-fledged commercial bank. So they got the license and they are the first small finance bank who got the license. Okay, so this is an important update, please remember this. Next question. According to World Bank latest global economic prospectus report, the first important part is here. The global economic prospectus report is given by the World Bank. So they can ask the question that global economic prospect report is given by which of the following organization. So you have to take the World Bank. Okay. What is India's projected economic growth rate for FY25 or 26? The correct answer is 6.3. Actually, previously they have forecasted in their June report, in their January report, they have forecasted the growth of 6.7. Now they have decreased it. Why? Because due to Donald Trump tariff and due to trade tensions, they have decreased this. Okay, RBI target for India's GDP growth for this year is 6.5%. So remember these two, that these are very important data. Okay, now let's move forward. Let me check one thing, then we will continue to it. Is everything fine? Yes, I think everything is fine. So let's move forward quickly. Okay, now next question. What is the primary objective of VRR? Okay, variable rate repo auctions conducted by Reserve Bank of India. See, understand this. Variable rate repo auctions. Generally, the repo auctions, they are based on fixed rate, and that fixed rate is nothing but a repo rate. Currently, what is repo rate? The repo rate is 5.5%. So that is generally they are fixed repo rate operations. But nowadays, RBI is doing variable repo rate auctions. Why they are doing this? They are doing this to manage short-term liquidity in the banking system. So either they will inject the liquidity or absorb the liquidity depending upon the prevailing market conditions. So one important tool of monetary policy of RBI is variable rate repo auction. So that is very important. So remember, the correct answer is to maintain short-term liquidity in the banking system. Now let's move forward. 11. Pune based urban cooperative bank, very important, very important, dash has been granted the status of scheduled bank by Reserve Bank of India. Now before dealing with this question, remember one thing, how a bank is given the title of scheduled bank. So scheduled bank title is given to a particular bank when the name of bank is mentioned in second schedule of RBI Act 1934. So in RBI Act 1934 there is a schedule 2, and if a particular bank name is mentioned there, then automatically the bank will get SCB, and it means scheduled commercial bank status. Okay, so now recently a Pune based urban cooperative bank named as Vishweshwar Sehkari Bank got this SCB status. Okay, now I think you got that. And this is the third bank actually from Pune who got this license, and this is the 50th cooperative bank who got this license. So remember these two important things. Okay, let's move forward. The Government of India notified the provisions of Banking Law Amendment Act 2025. In this connection, which of the following statement is correct? And now the government has done Banking Laws Amendment Act and they have passed that. So in this act, they have generally changed a lot of things in the banking system, and due to these changes means they have to amend 5 acts. So that's why they bought a umbrella act, Banking Laws Amendment Act, and in this way they are able to amend the provisions which are in the 5 legislations. Okay, remember this. So now that contain total 19 amendment across 5 legislation. Yes, that is correct. 5 legislation. What are those 5 legislation? First, it is RBI Act. Okay, 1934. Second, it is Banking Regulation Act 1949. Third, it is SBI Act 1955. Another act is Banking Companies Act 1970 and 1980. Why 1970 and 1980? Because in 1969, first nationalization has been taken place. Then in 1980. And the last one is Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So these are the 5 legislation which are amended by Banking Laws Amendment Act. Okay. Now the third point is the act contain provision for transfer of fund to investor education and protection fund. Yes, that is also correct. And please remember this acronym, full form of this acronym. Okay. So the correct answer of is this fourth. 1, 2, 3, all are correct. Next question. RBI's Digital Payment Index for March 2025 was released by RBI on 28 July 2025. What is a base for that index? So whenever they will be asking what is a base, they are generally asking what is a base year for that index. And the correct answer, it is a one-liner answer. There is nothing to explain here. So remember the base year, that is March 2018. Okay, remember this. Now let's move forward. 14th. Which of the following institutions, organization has released the Financial Inclusion Index, FI Index for March 2025? In India, FI Index means Inclusion Index is released by none other than Reserve Bank of India. So please remember this. Now, the number of financial means the position of India in Financial Inclusion Index is improving as the year passes. Why? The reason is the JAM Trinity. After JAM Trinity, the condition has been improved very significantly. What is JAM? Jandhan, Aadhaar and mobile. So due to this trinity, lot of people are able to open their account, and in this way they are financially included in the system. Okay, now let's move forward. 15. According to data furnished by NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India, which digital payments player held the top position in UPI Unified Payment Interface chart in June 2025? The correct answer of this is PhonePe. Now, for one time, you remember this and it will be correct for a lot of upcoming years. If you are talking about UPI share, market share, the highest share which is held by none other than PhonePe. The second number belongs to Google Pay, and the third mark belong to Paytm. So remember this. Okay, this will remain in the market the same way it is now. So from 2021 it is same like that, and before that also. So from 2021 they are maintaining their pole position. So PhonePe is maintaining their pole position. That is the thing. Okay, so PhonePe, Google Pay, Paytm in the increasing market share. Okay, that is the highest, then second highest, then third highest. Remember this. Okay, now let's move forward. 16. Identify the activities that are not available to NBFC as per RBI provision. What is NBFC? Non-banking financial institution. Please remember this. All three are correct and the correct answer is fourth. NBFC cannot accept demand deposit. That is the correct one. What do you understand by demand deposit? That is saving account and current account. You can't have a saving account or current account in NBFC. That is the thing. So NBFC can accept the deposit. Yes, they can accept the deposit. Only few NBFC which are getting the license from RBI separately and they are known as NBFC-D. They can do the deposit and they can't accept demand deposit. They have to do time deposit. And what are the example of time deposit? Fixed deposit and recurring deposit. So that is the example. NBFC do not form part of payments and settlement system. That is also correct. Okay. Payment and settlement system means UPI, NEFT, RTGS like that. Third, the deposit insurance facility of DICGC means Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation is not available to the depositor of NBFC. Yes, that is the correct. Actually, DICGC, they are giving you the insurance of 5 lakh rupees if you have, if you are the account holder in a scheduled commercial bank or other banks also. But if you are a account holder in NBFC and you have the time deposit, whether it is FD or RD in NBFC, then you will not get this facility. So that is the risk. Okay. So the correct answer is fourth, and all three are correct here. Now let's move forward. After the implementation of Phase 4 RRB, Regional Rural Banks Amalgamation, what is the number of RRB in the country as of 1st May 2025? Understand this. Every year, the RRBPO and clerk paper, it has been taken place at August or July or max to max September. But this year they have postponed that paper for November or December. Why? The reason is that process, because in India there is a policy which states one state one RRB. So under this policy they are amalgamating the RRBs which are extra. Okay, one state one RRB. So previously there are 43 RRBs. Okay, now there are 26 RRB in states and 2 RRBs in union territory. So total is 28. So now the correct number of RRB is 28. Remember this. This can be asked in this year RRBPO as well as their interviews. Okay. Now let's move forward. The Ministry of Finance has issued a statement with respect to public sector bank. Identify the correct statement. GNPA, gross non-performing asset of public sector bank have been reduced from 9.11 to 2.58%. Yes, that is correct. Since 2021, GNPA is declining, and this is very good news for banks. That's why just now we have seen the profits of State Bank of India, and you clearly can see that their profits are rising. Why they are rising? Very simple to understand, because their sales are increasing and their NPA are declining. So from 9.11 to 2.58, that is very substantial improvement which is done by public sector bank. Okay, SARFAESI, securitization and reconstruction of financial assets and enforcement of Security Interest Act. Now understand this. Is this full form important? Yes, it is important for banking exams, means mains also, as well as in interviews. So please remember this full form. Okay. RDB, X for Recovery of Debt and Bankruptcy Act. This all is correct. Okay. So Ministry of Finance has issued the statement with respect to public sector bank. The improvement in the asset quality of public sector bank, as well as improvement in their financial condition, is mentioned in this report. And in this report these three are very important points, so you must remember all 3 points. Okay, these two are general points. This is very specific point. Here you have to remember the data also. Okay, now let's move forward. To which bank has the RBI advised to integrate financial fraud risk indicator tool FRI developed by DOT Department of Telecommunication, very very important. Okay, Department of Telecommunication, into their system to curb online fraudulent transactions. See, recently there are several reports, some are from RBI, some are from other institutions. They are tracking the fraudulent transaction in India. And as the year is passing, as India is becoming more and more online, the number and the amount which are included in fraudulent transaction, particularly in the financial sector, is increasing, and there is an exponential jump in that. So due to tackle this situation, RBI wants each and every bank to develop their financial fraud risk indicator tool. Okay, so now these all banks, what they have done, they went to DOT, and then DOT has developed this tool for them. There are various other measures with which these banks are taking, and we will cover these measures in these upcoming questions, so do not worry about that. They, one thing they are doing, they are shifting to the domain of bankin.com. Why they are doing that? To make their system more and more secure. So what is the answer of for that question? For this question is 1 2 3. All scheduled commercial bank is there, a small finance bank is there, cooperative bank is there. So correct answer is 1 2 3. Okay, let's move forward. 20th, who, which among the following is working on building common digital infrastructure with RRB, regional rural bank, on principle of one state one RRB? I have mentioned this in a previous question, and due to this scheme, one state one RRB, 43 RRBs are merged into 28 RRB, and the main motive of that, in a particular state there must be one RRB. Why? The reason is that to increase the efficiency, that is the main reason. So who among the following is working on building the common digital infrastructure? The correct answer is NABARD. Now understand this, NABARD is very very important whenever RRB is concerned. Why? Because NABARD is the regulator of RBI. So whenever there is a substantial change, or there is a technological transfer, or there is a technological upgrade, there is a news related to very large chunk of fund, so most of the time the correct answer will be NABARD. Okay, remember this. So NABARD is the organization here. This exim, it will deal with export import. SIDBI will deal with micro and medium enterprises. NHB will be dealing with home loans. Okay, home buyers. State Bank is a bank. So the correct answer, logical answer is also NABARD. So remember this. Now, 21 question. According to RBI data on unclaimed deposit with PSB. PSB here is public sector bank. Which bank has the highest unclaimed deposit? So if you are very very logical, then you clearly know the highest depositor base out of these banks is with State Bank of India. So obviously highest unclaimed deposit will be with them only. So if you go by simple sheer logic, then you will clearly take the correct answer, and the correct answer is State Bank of India. This is also important, so remember this. Okay, 22 question. Which of the following organization has released the Global Findex 2025 report? The correct answer of this is World Bank. Now very very important. Why? Because this type of question can be asked directly in the examination. I have told you in the previous question also. Okay, okay, now the question which can come in your mind, that what is the rank of India in this Global Findex report? There is not a particular rank given to a particular country, so there is no ranking system here. So in this way we can conclude that India didn't get any specific rank. So why the, so what this Global Findex is dealing with? Actually they are dealing with the financial inclusion in the country, and they have given a very specific data and very high rating to India. Why? they have given the high rating to India because in India the adults owning financial account has been risen substantially. You can use this data in financial inclusion question or which will be asked in your interview as well as in your descriptive part also. So in 2011, 35% of Indian adults having financial account. This number has been jumped to 89% in 2024. So there is a remarkable jump in these years. Okay, why? The reason is very very simple. I have told you previously also. JAM Trinity, Jandan Aadhaar Mobile. Okay, remember this. Now let's move forward. 23. Identify the activity that is not included in the priority sector lending. Now, understand this. Priority sector lending is generally 40% for scheduled commercial bank, for foreign banks, for small finance bank, and for RRB, this number is 75%. Okay, remember this. Now, what is the priority sector lending? These are those sectors in which bank do not want to lend. Why they do not want to lend? Because in these sectors generally non-prime borrowers exist. So these sectors belongs to very weaker section of the society. That's why bank didn't want to lend here. But what RBI has done, RBI has mandated the bank to do the priority sector lending, and out of their total NDTL or ANBC. NDTL means net deposit. Okay, that is the net demand and time liability. That is the thing. So demand and time liability, you know, that is deposit. So net deposit you can also tell here. ANBC means adjusted net bank credit. Same thing. So of this 40% you have to lend to priority sector areas. What are the priority sectors areas? Agriculture, MSME, education, housing. These are the priority sector lending. Now, understand this. This is also important that agriculture, the percentage is 18%. Means out of 40, there is a 40% of NDTL. 18% of the NDTL must go to agriculture. That is the thing. 7.5% of the priority sector lending went to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Now, this entertainment is wrong here. Okay, so remember the numbers also, and remember that entertainment is not a part of priority sector lending. It's a very simple question. Okay, you can think that education and housing has the specific percentage. No, they do not have the specific percentage here. Okay, so remember this. Now let's move forward. Which of the following activities cannot be undertaken by merchant bankers? So understand this. What are merchant bankers? Merchant bankers generally deal with underwriting of shares and debentures. They deal with IPOs. They deal with FPOs. They deal with public issues of equity as well as debt. They deal with portfolio management. They deal with other credit related activities of the large corporate. So what they do not deal with, accept deposit and borrow from public. So that is the wrong one. So merchant banker, what are the examples of merchant banker? The example is JP Morgan Chase. Okay, the example is Morgan Stanley. These type of bank, they are generally known as merchant bankers. In the country like India, we have very large bank like State Bank of India, like HDFC Bank, like Kotak Mahindra Bank. So these are not merchant bank, these are full-fledged bank. They have the subsidiary which will be dealing with merchant operations. So for SBI, it is SBI Smart, SBI Corporate. So that is the thing. Okay, for HDFC, there is a subsidiary. For Kotak Mahindra, there is a subsidiary. But these all are not the example of merchant bankers. If you will say, what are the examples of merchant banker? So the correct answer is JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley. City Union Bank is there. Standard Chartered Bank is there. These all are the examples of merchant bankers. Okay. 25. What is a target set by RBI for priority sector lending for foreign banks with 20 branch and above? I have recently told you in previous question that the target is 40%. Okay, so remember the exact correct answer of this is 40%, and there is nothing to explain. This is a simple data. You have to remember this. Now, 26. With reference to 56th meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee of RBI, identify the incorrect statement. Okay, read the question properly. RBI maintains the policy repo rate to 5.50. That is correct. I have told you this. The standing deposit facility SDF rate is unchanged at 5.25%. That is also correct. Marginal standing facility rate is now kept as 5.75. Generally, MSF is equal to bank rate. So in fourth, they are saying that bank rate is also kept at 5.75%. That is also correct. Now all four are correct. Now this one is automatically wrong. So let's read it. RBI is set to achieve the medium term target for CPI inflation of 6%. No, 6 is wrong here. 4 is correct. So 4 plus minus 2. So RBI has the inflation range 4 plus minus 2. So 2 from 2 to 6%. So that is the band in which RBI want to contain the inflation. That is the thing. Okay, so instead of 6 there is 4. Now for I will give you a quick revision. See, a repo rate is the interest rate which a particular bank is paying to RBI if they will get money from the RBI. Okay, very simple. They have to give collateral for getting the loan. So if I will draw the diagram, there is RBI, there is a bank. RBI is giving money to bank will money, bank will give interest plus collateral. That is the repo. What is repo? The interest which bank is paying here, it is a repo rate. Now, so there is repo, there is SDF. SDF is standing deposit facility. Suppose a bank want to keep their money in RBI. So the interest which is paid by RBI is SDF, standing deposit facility. There will be no collateral in SDF. If bank want collateral also, then this transaction will be known as reverse repo transaction. Wait, reverse repo transaction. Okay, if collateral is required. Why I am keeping it side, you will know. So there is a repo 5.5. What is MSF? MSF is marginal standing facility and the interest rate is 5.75. This from 5.25 to 5.75. This 50.5% means 50 basis point window is known as policy corridor. Okay, generally MSF is equal to bank rate. I have very quickly explained you the repo, reverse repo, and repo, reverse repo, SDF, and MSF. That is very simple. Okay. Now, if you want a very detailed lecture on this, we are conducting the banking awareness class this Saturday. Please join that session also. 27. Which Indian bank is a recipient of Global Finance Magazine 2025, the world best consumer bank award? One liner, very very important. Global Finance Magazine world best consumer bank. The correct answer is State Bank of India. One liner you have to remember. 28. The Reserve Bank of India has approved Japan Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation SMBC acquisition up to dash stake in Yes Bank. So SMBC they have acquired the stake from State Bank of India and other banks. Okay. Why they are acquiring? Because you know that 2-3 years back, Yes Bank went to debacle, and due to the very wrong loan giving by their promoter, the bank is just about to collapse. So in that time, RBI and other banks of India they came to rescue Yes Bank, and in this process, they have acquired the stake in Yes Bank. Now they want to exit because Yes Bank is stable now. So they sold all their holdings to SMBC. 24.99%. Why 24.99%? Why not 51? The reason is that because RBI has the limitation. If a foreign ownership is there in a particular bank. So there is a limit set by RBI, and that limit is 24.99 for a particular entity, not for all. Understand this. In a bank like HDFC Bank, more than 70% of HDFC share is holded by FII, foreign institutional investor. Remember this, okay? That is the thing. Now let's move forward. 29. Which company was selected as transaction advisor for divesting the central government stake in Indian Overseas Bank, Central Bank of India, UCO Bank, and Punjab and Sindh Bank? So, which company was selected as transaction advisor? Now you know government want to sell their shares in these banks, so they need a merchant bank. Okay, they need a merchant bank because that is the job. So these all are the examples of merchant bank, and whom they have selected? They have selected Goldman Sachs. As simple as that. Okay, so they have selected this company, and sooner or later government will sell their stake in Indian Overseas Bank, Central Bank of India, UCO Bank, and Punjab and Sindh Bank. Okay. 30. Which country has made history with launch of RYT Bank, the world's first AI powered bank? See, as the AI is increasing in all over the world, now they are opening a bank which is AI powered bank. So as the years will pass and as AI will get mature, this will be happening. So the correct answer of this is Malaysia. Okay, RYT Bank, remember the name and remember the country. This can be asked in your examination because this is very important update. 31. Recently, the Reserve Bank of India gave in principle approval to Aditya Birla Capital Digital Limited ABCDL to operate as an online payment aggregator. Under which act are payment aggregators in India governed? Okay, what are payment aggregator? Understand this. Payment aggregators, the example of payment aggregators are Paytm and Google Pay. See, I can do my recharge from Paytm and Google Pay. If I want to pay my utility bill, particularly electricity bill, then I can go there. So that is the example. If I want to invest in a mutual fund, I can go to Paytm and I can do that. So the payment aggregator is the platform where all my payments, whether they are incoming or outgoing, has been taken care of. So I need one app and I will do all my tasks. So these companies are known as payment aggregator. So now the question is that under which act these payment aggregators in India are governed, and these are governed by a Reserve Bank of India. Okay, that is an important update. So the correct answer is Payment and Settlement Act 2007. Remember this act. Okay, let's move forward. Name the executive director of RBI who has been appointed the vice president and chief risk officer of New Development Bank. New Development Bank is a bank of BRICS organization. So, New Development Bank, this post has been taken up by Rajiv Ranjan, and Rajiv Ranjan is very important figure, okay, in India. So now let's move forward. Generally, the post of president is taken by China, and the post of vice president has been taken up by India. The reason is that because China is the largest shareholder in NDB and India is the second largest shareholder in NDB. Okay. 33. In partnership with Startup India Initiative, Punjab National Bank has inaugurated its first startup centric branch. Startup centric branch by Punjab National Bank, STAR, that is opened in New Delhi. So there is a Bhikaji Kama. It is very important center. If you are from New Delhi, you already know that. So it is very important center, and that branch is inaugurated at that area only. So remember this, that the PNB has inaugurated its first startup centric branch in New Delhi. Which former RBI governor has been appointed as executive director at International Monetary Fund IMF for the period of 3 years? So the correct answer is Urjit Patel. Okay. Now remember that International Monetary Finance IMF and India Indians. This relation is very, very old. In 2019, the chief economist of IMF is being appointed, and she is from India, means she is Indian particularly. Then she has been promoted to second most powerful person of IMF. Okay, the name of that woman is Geeta Gopinath. So remember this. After the retirement of Geeta Gopinath, this year IMF has appointed Urjit Patel in the post of executive director. Okay, Urjit Patel, you know that he is the governor of RBI. Okay, after Raghuram Rajan, all these names which are mentioned here are the governors of RBI. Okay, that is the thing. 35. With which private bank did National Small Industry Corporation NSIC enter into an MOU? MOU means Memorandum of Understanding under its MSME Credit Facilitation Program. So the correct answer of this is all of the above. Axis Bank, IndusInd Bank, Dhanlakshmi Bank, Karnataka Bank. These all are private banks, and with these private bank, NSIC has signed the MOU. Why? Because they want to increase the MSME credit in India. That is the thing. 36. According to SBI report, identify the correct statement regarding the UPI transaction in 2025 Unified Payment Interface. UPI daily average value registered 90,446 crore in August 2025. Yes, that is very, very correct. Okay. Now, do you need to remember this data? The answer is no. If your exam is on September or October, okay, then you need to remember this. But remember this, after there will be current data, you need to remember that data before going to examination. Okay, SBI is emerged as the top remitter member. Yes, that is correct. The remitter member is SBI. That is obvious answer. Why? Because understand this, in UPI the money is debited from one account to another. A lot of people in India, they hold their deposit account with SBI. So that is the reason. That's why they are handling 5.2 billion transaction. That's why you are seeing they are facing server issue. Why? Because they are the top remitter members. Okay. Maharashtra, if you are talking about state and their percentage in UPI, so Maharashtra has the highest percentage. Okay, 9.8 percentage in the UPI usage, and that is in July alone. So remember this. So all 1, 2, 3 is correct. So this is very important. Then this, then this. But this, no need to remember this. All only remember the latest data before the examination. 37. Which bank has unveiled the special personal loan scheme tailored for Agniveers, coinciding with 79th Independence Day celebration? So Agniveers, you know what is Agniveers? Okay. Now, the bank which has come up with a special personal loan scheme for Agniveers is none another than State Bank of India. Generally, remember one thing, the personal loan which will be given by State Bank of India are only for government employees. They do not cater the needs of personal loan for other peoples without collateral. Okay, that is the one thing. Another thing that State Bank of India, they generally lend to the government employee at very, very competitive interest rate. So that is another point which you must remember here. 38. Name the former chairman of now defunct DHFL, Diwan Housing Finance Corp, who was declared bankrupt by NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal, following a petition by Union Bank of India for a recovery of 4,546 crore. The correct answer is Kapil Wadhwan. So DHFL is very, very good finance company at one point of time, but due to the corruption, the company fall, and now the matter is in NCLT. So Kapil Wadhwan, remember this. But these type of questions are not important because they are not asked in examinations. Okay. 39. Under which scheme did bank sanction 62,791 crore to 2,75,291 loan accounts since its launch in April 2016? If you remember this only, then you are able to identify the correct option. The correct option is Stand Up India scheme, generally given to entrepreneurs of the country. Okay, and main focus here is on weaker sections, particularly women or STSC group of people. That is the thing. Okay, so they sanctioned 62,791 crores. Okay, and the beneficiary are 2,75,000 people, and it is a humongous chunk of people. So lot of people get lot of amount from government of India under this scheme. So remember this. Okay, now 40. Which bank has invested in CoreOver, the conversational AI company behind Bharat GPT, a sovereign and enterprise-grade large language model (LLM) built entirely in India? Now you know that LLM is very important. You must have known about ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is nothing but a AI chatbot, and behind that chatbot, the mind of that chatbot is LLM. Okay, so India is also developing their own chatbot, and that is Bharat GPT. So for Bharat GPT, they are developing the LLM model. Okay, so which bank has invested in that? The correct answer is HDFC Bank, and sooner or later all other banks will join. The reason is very simple, because once this will develop, so they can integrate that chatbot into their particular websites. So that's why they all are keen to invest there. Okay, so next question. Which has become the first public sector bank PSB in India to migrate its corporate website corporate website to secure bank IN domain? I have told you that RBI, due to increase in financial frauds, RBI want bank to increase their security measures, and this exercise to increase the security measures of bank is a very normal exercise in country like India. So now they are shifting from the .com .in terminal to bank.in, so that the banking channel will become more and more secure. So first bank to move in is Punjab National Bank. Soon other banks will follow this lead. Okay, now let's move forward. 42. Which bank has launched UPI service for its NRI for its NRE and NRO account? So NRE and NRO account are generally for NRI, non-resident Indian. So UPI service is generally for the account holders which are residing in India, for Indian citizens. For people who are living outside India, these services are not until available. But now the government is working on this, and due to this, the banks are opening the NRE, non-resident external, and NRO, non-resident ordinary accounts, so that the NRI can operate the UPI service seamlessly from their country and from India. So the first bank who has launched this service, okay, not the first bank, but the bank who launched this UPI service is none another than AU Small Finance Bank. I have told you that this bank is working very efficiently and prudently. That's why they got the upgradation from a small finance bank to full-fledged commercial bank. Okay, so remember this. Who among the following person has been re-elected as the chairperson of Payments Council of India, PCI? So this is one liner. Okay, remember this. Either you know it or you do not know it. The correct answer is Vishwas Patel. So Vishwas Patel has been re-elected as the chairperson of PCI. Okay. Now 44. On August 4, 2025, which bank announced the appointment of Rajiv Ranjan as its MD and CEO? So the correct answer of this is IndusInd Bank. See, IndusInd Bank is facing a lot of troubles. Why? Because they got the loss of 2000 crore. Why? Due to the misappropriation which has been taken place in their trading account. So due to this, their old CEO, their CFO, they are facing the charges from SEBI. That is the reason. So the RBI has removed the previous CEO. Now the new CEO has been appointed, and the new CEO is none other than Rajiv Anand. Rajiv Anand has a lot of experience. He has been banker since 2000, and he has been recently posted as in Axis Bank at very high position. So now from Axis Bank he has migrated to IndusInd Bank. So that is the major update here. Okay. Now, which private bank has launched a new security feature called Lock FD that allows account holder to restrict premature closure of fixed deposit through digital platforms? Understand this. So, lot of banks are giving the facility to open a fixed deposit account through digital platform, but due to our urges, okay, we will break the FD in between. So now the Axis Bank has come up with a feature. So the correct answer of this is Axis Bank. So Axis Bank has come up with a new security feature in which you can lock the FD. Once you lock, you are not able to unlock that. So that is the feature which will create a financial discipline among the account holders of Axis Bank. So that is a very good scheme by Axis Bank of India. Which of the following received an in principle approval from RBI to transition from small finance bank to universal bank? I have told you in the initial slide that Ujjivan Finance Small Finance Bank, they have got the license. Why they got the license? Because they are working very efficiently. Their sales number, their capital adequacy ratio, and their all the regulatory requirements which is prescribed by RBI, they have followed them efficiently and they are running the bank beautifully. So small finance bank is one of the top notch. Sorry, the answer is not Ujjivan. The answer is AU Small Finance Bank. Okay, so all the praise which I have done, it is for is AU Small Finance Bank. So AU Small Finance Bank is the remarkable bank. They have done beautifully. Their stock prices is also moving very up, and now their efficiency is rewarded by RBI itself. So RBI has given them in principle approval for transition from a small finance bank to universal bank. That is the thing. Plus, after getting the license of finance universal bank, what are the things which will be changing? First thing will be changing that their PSL requirement. Now the PSL requirement is 75, but after their full-fledged operation, the PSL requirement would be 40%, because for a scheduled commercial bank or a universal bank, the PSL requirement is 40%, and they will get lot of benefits also. They will get deposits, they will get bonds, they will get interest rate, they will get capital at a very low interest rate as of now. So that is the benefits. That's why they are going for universal bank. Okay, let's move forward. Please correct it here. The correct answer is AU Small Finance Bank, not Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Okay. Among large private sector lenders, which one has reported the lowest employee attrition rate, 18% in FY25 from 24.5 in FY24 in the last 3 financial years? Understand this. Uh, After COVID, there is a lot of juggling in the private sector bank, so a lot of talent is moving from one place to another. That's why the attrition rates are very high, but now this situation is stabilizing, and that's why the attrition rate of each and every bank, it is falling. But the best return, means best attrition rate, is reported by none another than ICICI Bank. Their attrition number is very less. Okay, it is a one liner, you must remember this. Now moving forward, which non-banking financial company NBFC became the first miscellaneous one in India to cross 1 lakh crore business turnover in 24-25? The correct answer is Kerala State Financial Enterprises. That is the one liner first thing. But understand this is under the miscellaneous category. There are a lot of NBFCs which are way ahead 1 lakh crore. Bajaj Finance, their total revenue is more than 5 lakh crore kind of things. So they are doing remarkable business. In the miscellaneous category, 1 lakh crore is a very big number, and this time Kerala State Financial Enterprises has been able to report this number. Okay. Now moving forward, which bank has stopped processing trade